Hello, I'm Dr. Hawkins from the Marriage Recovery Center and the Emotional Abuse Institute, and I want to talk to you about a very, very important topic: separation, opportunity to end the insanity. All right, this is such an important video. I want you to push subscribe and tell others about it, because separation is on a lot of people's minds, and there's a way to do it in a healthy way. There's a way that separation can bring about really important change, and it can also be done very, very poorly. I have three important steps that you need to take, that you need to understand to do this well. Again, push subscribe, tell others about it. Separation, opportunity to end the insanity. Number one, we must disrupt the status quo. It's been called rocking the boat, and it's such an important step. We've got to rock the boat. We've got to disrupt things. It's called an intervention. It's called disruption. It's called rocking the boat and seeking to invite change into the situation. Now, most of us would say that we want change, but we want the change that we want, right? So what ends up happening is that we end up settling into the status quo. We end up really not embracing change. And for there to be a real opportunity, folks, you've got to disrupt the status quo. You've got to rock the boat. You've got to prepare yourself for change to really occur. All right, step two. If you do this, if you consider a separation, you're going to hear things like, "Oh man, if you separate from me, that'll be it." Probably won't be it. And you'll hear other threats born out of fear. Well, because ending the status quo, which was step one, and step two is embracing this awkwardness, this frightening stage of relating. Like, oh my goodness, if we're not connected in this way, how will we stay connected? What will the rules of separation be? And yes, there can be really clear rules regarding this. It's called a therapeutic separation agreement, therapeutic separation agreement. And we can help you with that, help create the framework around which this separation can occur, so that it isn't quite so scary, it isn't quite so awkward, there isn't quite so much uncertainty. We clarify what are the rules of separation, how are we separating, why are we separating, and how do we make it a little more predictable so that we know what to expect. We know that we're going to remain faithful to each other, for example. We're going to stabilize the finances so that we're not threatening each other in that way. We're going to talk about how we're going to contact the children and who's going to visit when and who's staying where, who's staying in what, who's staying in the residence, who's moving out, and so on. So embracing this time of awkwardness and clarifying the rules and the roles of separation so that it's a little less frightening. And then step three, as you settle into this time of separation, should you choose to do that, and you have this therapeutic separation agreement, so you've got some guardrails established, then guess what? Guess what? This can be a robust time of change, and you can really reflect on, why did we separate? What did she want? What did he want? What are the expectations of each other? And I got to tell you, it can be a powerfully robust time of change and healing like none other, like none other. Oh, I know there are people that say, oh, if you separate, that's going to be the end. Doesn't have to be the end at all. Doesn't have to be the end at all. It can be a time of reflection, a time of consideration, a time of healing, where you're out of the struggle, the combative wrangling, and your brain actually gets an opportunity to settle down and to really think, and then to become clear with each other. Look, if we get back together again, and that's an if, but most often people want to get back together, but only if there's change. And so it's a time to reassure one another, I'm going to be working on X, Y, and Z. And I hope you work on X, Y, and Z. And then this can be a robust time for both of you, a powerfully robust time. So again, separation, opportunity to end the insanity. 3 steps. Number 1, we must disrupt the status quo. You've got to disrupt the status quo, folks. Do what you've always done. You're going to get what you've always got. Number 2, embrace this time of awkwardness and the frightening aspect of it, and create the therapeutic separation agreement, which will establish guardrails about what you can expect from each other and the changes that you need, and why are we separated, and what will it take to get back together again. And then number 3, this robust time of change, this opportunity to rebuild the relationship in a new and healthier way. I got to tell you, I've seen so many couples that have used a separation to just calm things down and to reflect in a more peaceful way, and to really think about what really needs to be attended to. What are the changes that are needed? How do we go about getting them? Do we involve ourselves in individual and couples counseling? What do we do so that we can come back together again in a healthier way? All right. I hope this has been helpful. I hope it takes some of the fear and sting out of the possibility of separation, and you see it as an opportunity to end some craziness and move into a healthier way of functioning. All right. If this has been helpful to you, I want you to push that subscribe button. I want you to click on the link if you want more help from us at the Marriage Recovery Center and the Emotional Abuse Institute. Our client care team is ready to take your calls. All right. Take care. And as always, God bless.